Hey guys, let me know what you think by liking and commenting, and it really helps me and this channel out when you subscribe, so please click that button. Thanks a bunch. The Broadway Limited Brass Hybrid Paragon 4 Milwaukee Road S3 is getting ready to be shipped back out for another repair because if you remember rightly, the smoke unit blew. So let's take a look at this whole saga, shall we? In terms of Broadway Limited smoke units, thus far I have a Paragon 3 4664 Challenger, and that smoke unit is still working fine. Another smoke unit that's working fine is a Paragon 2 4464 Pennsylvania Railroad Q2. That one is still working fine as well. Up next, we have a Paragon 3 686 Pennsylvania Railroad Turbine S2. That one's actually still working fine also. After that, we have a New York Central Dreyfuss Hudson, and that one's working great too still. Now to change things up again, we have a Paragon 3 Brass Hybrid Chesapeake and Ohio 464L1. That one actually had a blown smoke unit and it had some other problems, so it went back and they replaced it. But that replacement one had a blown smoke unit and it went back and they repaired it. And after repair, that one seems to be working fine. After that, we had a Paragon 4 Reading T1 484 and it had a nuclear meltdown. Everything, the boiler melted down and the smoke unit blew. So they repaired it, sent it back, and that smoke unit blew. So they sent it back and they repaired it, and that one seems to be doing fine now. In a much similar fashion, the aforementioned Milwaukee Road 484 S3 smoke unit blew, sent it back, got it back, smoke unit blew, sent it back, smoke unit blew, and it is now ready to be returned once again. And now, how should this new edition, the Paragon 4 484 Great Northern S2? Well, what's going to happen? Let's find out. As I've said in other videos, the 484 Northern is my favorite steam locomotive configuration. It just looks right to me. Everything looks balanced, and I was happy when the S2 Great Northern was going to come out. I absolutely love the glacier green. I think it looks wonderful in the boiler, so it's something I was really, really looking forward to. So we'll pull this out of here. There's some cool stuff. Yep. Here are the standard. I think these are pretty standard for Paragon 4, the function list here. There's F7, our favorite smoke on and off, which as soon as I depress it seems to cause me to be depressed. Either way, I'll run through all of these for you. I may speed through the chatter and everything because I have so many other videos that demonstrate this. Yeah, all this stuff. That's great. All right, let's go ahead and pull this out. You get some extra traction tires. Get a funnel for the smoke unit. And what I'll do is I will take this out of here for you and I will walk around this locomotive because it's too much for me to hold and kind of spin around. So that's what I'll do. So give me a second here. As you saw from the box, this is a brass hybrid locomotive. So it's designed to take advantage of all of the detail that brass will offer, all of the fine details, but will be more usable and more runnable because other parts will be made out of die-cast metal or plastic as necessary. As you can see, Broadway Limited certainly is living up to the brass part of this locomotive's name by having a lot of fine details on the front. Incredible looking from the front, there's no doubt about it. I think this is the first locomotive I have with these pronounced compressors on the front. I like the way they look, even though they, I guess, kind of break up the front profile a little bit. I always like them, they look really techno to me for some reason. I like the fact that the number boards, you can see the bolts that hold them in. I'm pretty sure these are non-functional number boards. I'll have to check, but I'm pretty sure that's right. You can see the builder's plate there in cylinder. There's something that I think they did really right about the paint and the way everything flows together here in the front. You can even see the texturing on the foot plates there. Really wonderful. Here's the drive gear. Looks great. Broadway Limited does a really nice job on these, and they obviously have continued that through here. Really like looking at this from the side, and I'll show it running in a close-up. Since a lot of you know what you're looking for in steam engines, I'm going to go ahead and do a limited vocal walk around so that you can see every part of this, and it may help you decide whether this is something you want to purchase or not. The engineer and fireman come pre-installed, which is something I really appreciate from Broadway Limited. And just in case you can't tell, the glazing is in place. The vents on top of the cab don't open and close, however, so if that's a particular detail you like, then that's not available here. Okay, I'll let you take a gander at this here for a second, and I'll be back in just a moment. Some of these fittings up above, including the whistle and a couple other things, are a little bit surprising to me. They look like they're overpainted. They're painted in this kind of gloppy gold, and I'm not sure why they just didn't use brass here. Maybe that's the way the prototype looks. Maybe they painted them this way. I don't know. But it seems like they could have just used metal instead. The bell up front is also painted that way. Again, I don't know why they just didn't use brass. I mean, if you look at the cover on the cylinders, they look really nice, so I'm not sure why. This seems to be a bit of a missed opportunity. As far as coupler height, it seemed to not be 100% dead on, just a slight bit high, but I think that's within tolerances, and it'll work just fine. I checked all the wheel gauges, and they all seem fine also. This does have a keep alive capacitor in it, but it seems like it's only going to really help you with bad points. It's not going to keep it running for very long. Should be plenty good enough for bad spots on the track, though. I'm just going to take this through the primary sounds. You can listen to some of my other videos for Paragon 4 if you want to hear sort of the alternate sounds, such as the lumber mill and all that. All right, let me go through the speed steps here, and once in a while I'll mute it so that you can hear how noisy or quiet this is. You decide. Okay, let me go ahead and run this at throttle position 1 out of 128, and it runs a little bit fast, but I've come to expect that from Broadway Limited's low speed control isn't great. Also remember that I'm running 19 volts here, so mine will be a little bit faster than yours if you're running NMRA standard 14 to 15 volts. I didn't mess with the voltage trim settings. If I really needed this to run slower, I would start there, but I'm just not too worried about it. Although I didn't time it, if it seems like it's running a little bit faster in reverse, I think it is as well. If you notice, chuffing looks good. I'm pretty sure that it has a sensor so that it knows when it comes around, so I'm pretty sure it's dead on. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at the weight of this thing. Let me get my tare here. There we go. I'm at 0 weight, and we'll plop her on here. All right, reading just shy of 26 ounces. Let me make sure I have a good set here. Okay, yep, sure enough, 25.7 ounces, just shy. So it's 1 pound, almost 10 ounces. And for my other fellows around the world, 730 grams effectively. If you're kind of curious as to what a non-brass hybrid locomotive weighs, I will put my Reading T1. It has a plastic boiler. Let's plop it down here. Let's make sure get it on there straight. Yep, 26.9. So it is actually slightly heavier, even though it has a plastic boiler. And brass doesn't weigh a whole lot, so it would make a whole lot of sense. There we go. If I understand this rightly, it is a passenger locomotive, and I do have a heavyweight set, but it's an Empire builder scheme, and I'm almost sure that the passenger consist this hauled was in Pullman green. But you know what? These passenger cars and the other ones I have are earmarked for another locomotive, so I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to use these ore cars. In fact, I've got a bunch of ore cars, and I'm going to string it behind this locomotive. I just collected them over time, and they were actually earmarked for a different set. They were actually earmarked for diesels, and I don't know if these are temporally correct or anything, but I've got a bunch of those. I don't know who made those ones. These ones are obviously made by Walthers. They're a little bit obviously different, but that's fine. I don't really care. In fact, on top of these Walthers, I found 6 more, and I think they were made by Mahano or Rocco or something like that. They're European. So I think all of these running behind the Great Northern are going to look really neat. You can watch the running session afterwards, and you can let me know what you think. Before I can run this many cars, though, I have to break this in, so let's go ahead and do that. And here we go, everyone. It's the moment of truth. Let's get a little bit of smoke fluid into this thing and see how it goes. Keep your fingers crossed for me. All right, one thing I noticed is that smoke started coming from underneath the shell, underneath the boiler, and I've seen this 2 other times, and neither of those times worked out very well. So I already had some misgivings. Yeah, I mean, you could see it pouring out. The first time I saw this was with my Chesapeake and Ohio, and if you look to our right, which is the locomotive's left, you'll see smoke coming out from underneath the shell. This one blew, and I had to send it back, so that's not so good. The next one is the Reading. If you look, it's coming out from underneath, way, way underneath the shell, and of course, this was when it melted down. So we may be off to kind of a bad start here, but let's find out.
my God.
Yep, win again. So, I think I'm starting to have an idea in my head about how we might be able to fix this, but let's go ahead and figure out when this happened. Let's roll it backwards. As you can see here, I've got pretty good smoke coming out of it as it's coming around, but in just a moment, you're going to see the volume of smoke dissipate steeply. In fact, right here. And I think what happened is that's when the smoke unit died. And now as it comes around, it's just sort of running on residual heat at this point. Yuck. But even though the smoke unit's out, I'm going to have to send this back. Let's go ahead and have a little fun with it. I'm going to build this really cool consist. I think all these ore cars running behind this thing will look really, really nice. I'm not going to let the lack of smoke destroy all my fun, although it will be a little less fun. Okay, final thoughts are this is a beautiful locomotive, absolutely beautiful. It's kind of weird. It seems like it's actually harder to find Pullman Green Great Northerns, but if this consist looks nice with all these ore cars, I'm just going to leave it. I'm just going to use this as an ore car hauling locomotive. I think it will look pretty good. So that's probably what it'll end up doing, and I've got enough passenger locomotives as it is. So yeah, I think that'll be fine. Other than that, poo on the smoke unit, but oh well, I guess we can't have everything. Okay, well, it's just gorgeous, and hopefully you'll like watching this run. I know I certainly do. So until next time, take care, stay safe, happy model railroading, and let me know what you think. I'd appreciate it if you would like, and comment if you have any, and I'd really, really appreciate it if you'd subscribe. So I'll talk to you later. See you next time.